ways of describing Mo Salah, don't you? I mean, two special milestones for club and, for the Premier League all-time goal scorers list. He's unstoppable at the minute. The older he gets, it's almost he's getting sharper and better.
He really is. I mean, he's just... his numbers are incredible. The consistency of the man since he's come to the Premier League with Liverpool is incredible. And he's had other experiences in the Premier League and it didn't work out. But he obviously had a desire to show everyone that he is this little genius, and he's certainly showing everyone. I mean, they've got a good work ethic there at the football club. The new manager's done brilliantly by doing not a lot. But one thing he has done very, very well is got that man who's out of contract at the end of the season very, very happy at the club. Because I remember the back end of last season when he had that stand-up row at the Olympic Stadium with Jurgen Klopp, I thought it was the beginning of the end for Mo Salah. Thankfully for Liverpool fans and for their players, that he is fully part of their squad.
Yeah.
And he is pushing them in the right direction. And maybe they can win multiple trophies this season.
And he's got all the cards right now, hasn't he, when it comes to negotiations on this new deal, which it almost feels absurd that we're still talking about it with, just 10 or under games left of this season?
He's certainly, based on his performances, which is difficult to do, he's certainly managed to get a number of cards in his favour. I think, just adding to what Tim says, what's helped him this year a lot is the fact that there's a number of players there at Liverpool who have stepped up to another level. I think McAllister looks a different player this year. Gavin Birch, who we didn't see much of before, he's been huge for them this season. Players are able to bring off the bench. Speak about Endo, he barely plays. Most players can't do that. He's made a contribution. There's just so many players who have stepped up. And I think that helps the likes of Mo Salah. They dominate possession, they create opportunities, they get him the ball, and he's hugely talented, and that's when he thrives.
Well, let's look back at how Liverpool managed to come away with all 3 points. They came from behind in the second half. Now, before we see Darwin Nunez' goal that made it 1-1, I've got to ask you the question, should he have been on the pitch at that point after what we saw at the end of the first half with this challenge on Kyle Walker-Peters? Should it have been more than a yellow, Tim?
No, not for me. I think it's a yellow card. I think it's petulant. We don't like to see it. Players get very annoyed with them sort of tackles. But I think Mo said there, sometimes he loses his head and he has to talk to him. But sometimes they can let your team down. If you're not playing Southampton today, you could have let your side down there. But they've managed to calm him down at half-time. The manager's made the call. He must have thought, do I bring him off? Do I bring him off? Because we're 1-0 down and we go down to 10 men, it could be a problem for us. But he managed to keep him on the field. And to be fair to the lad, he stepped up and he scores the equaliser, and then he gets the penalty for Mo to put him ahead. So you have to give him credit, but I think it's really good for Arne Slot to say to him, there's a warning there. That's petulant. You can't be like that. You can get away with it playing the team at the bottom of the league, but you don't get away with it. You're playing midweek against PSG.
No.
Or you're playing the cup final against Newcastle next week and beyond. There's big trophies here to push for, so you don't need petulance within your squad.
I think the tackle's borderline, though. I think, we've seen those in the past. He's just kicked him. I think it's one of those ones that people sometimes call an orange. You can't just kick people. He's not gone for the ball.
Yeah, but Liverpool's response was impressive in that second half, and it was Darwin Nunez with a fine finish, actually, wasn't it? Because all eyes on him, and the expectations were high, considering who they were playing this afternoon.
Yeah, and I think it's a really nice finish. He just gets right across the front there last minute. He's a powerful runner, so he really holds his run. He does well not to be too eager, because he knows that front post is where he needs to finish, but he needs to arrive as the ball arrives. And it's very easy to get drawn to the ball and move sooner. You see he's just very, very patient, and then at the very last second, see defenders there caught watching the ball. He just gets across the face, and it's a lovely little punch past the goalkeeper. Ramsdale, no chance. Really nice finish.
Good finish. Diaz does brilliantly. The pace is all on the ball. All he's got to do is get ahead of the defender, open up his side foot, and it goes in the bottom corner. Really, really good celebration from him. But then he shushes someone. He just can't help himself. I don't know what that was all about. But look, he's a cult. It's a rash challenge, and without doubt, it's a penalty in my opinion.
Yeah, definite penalty. Just unfortunately, Smallbone thinks he's just going to get there first. He's no idea that Nunez is just off his shoulder. Yes, penalty.
He's clever, Nunez, because he knows all he has to do is get himself in front of Smallbone. And when this man steps up now, you just never think he's going to miss. Ramsdale would have fancied his chances, as he always does, of saving penalties. But when Mo Salah steps up, just don't know where it's going to go. What I have noticed about his penalties of late, they all go high.
Yeah.
I mean, if the goalkeeper goes the right way, it's in the roof of the net. You can't jump out unless you're Superman. You can't jump up and stay up there.
And that was milestone one with that first penalty. Outright third then for Liverpool's all-time goal scorers, 243, above Gordon Hodgson. And it got even better because he got another penalty, of course. 86 minutes on the clock, and handball by Sugawara, and you can't really deny them that this was going to be a spot kick.
No, and he gets himself in a little bit of a pickle. He does well to track the run initially, and you see that he just slightly misjudges that bounce, and he panics because he thinks he's probably run by it, and he just swings. This is the best angle. You just see he brushes his elbow out towards it, and yeah, it's one of those really tough moments. The centre back, he knows that he's in trouble. He feels the pressure of, you know, he's just right on his shoulder, and I find that tough to watch as a centre-back because I've been there when you know you're in trouble, and unfortunately with VAR you can't get away with those anymore.
Good use of VAR, that, because not one player on that pitch appealed for a penalty.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually. Yeah. And Mo Salah steps up, almost the inevitable outcome once again.
I mean, it's cat and mouse. I mean, Ramsdale thinks he's going to go the same way again, and he doesn't. He just whips it across him. And the height again. If Ramsdale goes the right way, he still doesn't save it. Just can keep ticking them numbers up, Bo.
Yeah, joint fifth now on the Premier League's all-time goal scorers list, along with Sergio Aguero. 184 goals. And the start of a crucial few weeks, or few days, I should say, for Liverpool. Arne Slot says 3 finals on the way. Is that the best possible way to start it?
I mean, I think the Liverpool players feel like every game is just a game they have to win. They should win. Wednesday night was a really tough night for them. Watching that, they were really under pressure for large parts of the game, and you know, they found a way to come away with a result. Now they take that result home. I think they'll now feel like they can relax after today and look forward to Tuesday, knowing that they're at home, knowing that they've got this momentum, this good feeling amongst the group.
Yeah. Were you surprised that Salah actually started today, considering what's on the line on Tuesday night?
No, because I think when you're a manager like Arne Slot, who has a good relationship with his players, I thought he would have asked Mo Salah if he wanted to play today. He would have loved to have rested him. Virgil van Dijk would have been exactly the same. He would have had that conversation, and Mo would have said, well, we're playing a team at the bottom of the league. No, I'm OK. Yeah. Thankfully, for all that Liverpool squad, they've all come through this game today unscathed.